Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Honda HR-V car. Do you remember the Honda HR-V? This model was one of the first to kickstart the trend for small crossovers, but back then, potential customers weren't yet prepared for such a bold design. The seemingly enigmatic name, once deciphered, brings a smile to many faces. The HR-V is nothing more than a hybrid recreation vehicle, or roughly translated, a multi-purpose touring car. Is its operation as idyllic as its name? The Honda HR-V's bold styling suggests something small, yet quite lively, lurking under the hood. Unfortunately, this is just a facade. Don't expect this model to be without its power. The base engine produces just 105 horsepower, making the crossover extremely difficult to overtake on the highway. The base version sprints from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just over 11 seconds, and at higher speeds, it only gets worse. Fuel consumption isn't impressive either, given its size. The front-wheel drive version will consume just over 10.5 to 11 L 100 kilometers in city driving, while the four-wheel drive version will use about a liter more. The situation isn't much better with the 125 horsepower engine. Despite the variable valve timing system, it clearly lacks power at low revs, and the engine isn't responsive enough. To drive reasonably efficiently, you have to constantly keep it at high revs, which then reveals the poor cabin soundproofing and increases fuel consumption. The 100 kilometers per hour, 62 miles per hour, appears on the speedometer in less than 11 seconds. In this case, with dynamic driving, fuel consumption can reach up to 13 L 100 kilometers, 22.2 mpg. The main advantage of the more powerful version is, above all, the standard 4x4 drive. The engine versions may not be as lively, but that doesn't mean they lack advantages. Their main advantage is, above all, very high reliability. Just change the fluids and filters regularly, and the engine will surely never let you down. It's also important to remember to regularly service the timing belt and accessories every 120,000 kilometers. Unfortunately, the 4x4 system operates with a significant delay, so don't expect much fun even on light off-road terrain. There are two transmissions to choose from, a 5-speed manual and a continuously variable transmission, CVT. The Honda HR-V's front suspension is based on McPherson struts, while the rear, depending on the drivetrain, features a torsion beam or independent control arm system. Crash testing of this model was not conducted. However, the crossover isn't entirely perfect and has its flaws. Some of the most serious issues include damage to the multi-plate clutch and rear drivetrain. This applies to the 4x4 version. The first symptom of a faulty drivetrain is a loud rear axle. Such failures are primarily the fault of careless users who abuse the Honda HR-V unnecessarily off-road. Damage to metal rubber suspension components is common, but this problem affects most cars on European roads. Steering rack damage has also been reported, but fortunately it only affects a small number of vehicles. Before purchasing a Japanese crossover, it's worth checking the condition of its bodywork. Fenders, lower door edges, and sills are where the first corrosion spots can appear. Electrical failures also occur sporadically. Central locking and the heater are the most common problems, and in many cases the cockpit lighting bulbs burn out quite quickly. The model's biggest drawbacks are its sluggish, fuel-intensive engines. Complaints also include a cramped interior and a tiny trunk, which only holds 285 liters. Other irritating drawbacks include poor cabin soundproofing, the engine is unbearably loud, especially at higher speeds, and creaking plastics in the interior. Despite a few shortcomings, the car is perfectly suited to urban living and will appeal to those who prefer to sit higher than others. Thanks to excellent visibility, even parking the seemingly unwieldy Honda HR-V is a breeze. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and rate my video. If you know of any issues with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to share them in the comments.